it's always fun for me to tell somebody that and they go like, what?
Yep. And we've been doing it for years. And every time we say it, they're like, what are you, like, you guys are married game. Like, they get so confused.
Yeah, I need a bag, bruh. Send it through quickly. I'm making his dog like I'm in the big leagues. Yeah, I told him I'ma hit it out of stands. I deserve another 100 bands.
Another episode of the Married Game Podcast. We are the voice you trust when it comes to lust. We are who you hire when she lacks desire. And don't be a fool. Share this tool. All right, before we jump into the show, guys, we have a live event May 19th and 20th. If you want to be in a room with 20 other people with Jesse, I, myself, and the Wizard, right here in the Man Cave, Dana Point, California, May 19th, 20th. There's a link on my Instagram. We'll put a link below here. And if you want to see this show grow, you got to share it. That's all. If you care, share. Bottom line. Don't be a nerd. Spread the word.
There's all of them.
Okay, Jesse, Joy, we've got some myths to debunk today, don't we? What's the first myth that you want to debunk? Well, first of all, before you debunk it, can I just tell you how cool you are? We had so much fun.
I'll allow it.
No, I had so much. I love when you hang out with us in the Ascend Brotherhood. This last weekend, we had the Ascend Brotherhood here. That's for guys that they know how to get paid. They're getting laid. They want to just enjoy life, right? They're high performers. But you come in and you seem to
spice it up.
Yeah, you really seem to spice it up. You seem like you're kind of like one of the dudes.
I am one of the
Obviously,
dudes.
you're better looking and you don't have dude parts, thank God.
Yeah.
But like the guys just seem to love you. I
like to be one of the guys, and my cousin came this time, and he's my favorite cousin and my closest cousin, and he reminds me a lot of my brother, and it was so awesome to combine that world that we're in with my family, so yeah. I loved it.
Yeah. You seem to like really, like, you were like beaming, like you were glowing.
Yeah.
Which is so fun to see. So, yeah, you're cool, but you were glowing, man.
Yeah. I've always liked to be one of the guys, even when I was younger.
Yeah, you played baseball and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I always hung out with the guys.
But you're not really a tomboy.
Maybe nothing shocks me, so it's like they say whatever and they feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did notice that because another wife was around. We were talking about something, and I had to like pause and go, wait a second, this isn't Jesse. Because normally I can just share anything around you. And I was like, and they were fine. They were great. But all right, you want to debunk some myths?
Let's dive right into it, shall we? One of the things that we do different is we sleep in different beds.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people know that.
It's always fun for me to tell somebody that and they go like, what?
Yep. And we've been doing it for years, and every time we say it, they're like, what are you, like, you guys are married game. Like, they get so confused.
Yeah.
But I love to sleep in a separate bed. At first, I did not like it. I was very upset with you, and I didn't feel like the connection or, because just life tells you need to be sleeping in the same bed. But the more and more we did it, I'm like, you know what? And then we would sleep together, like in the hotels or whatever. I was like, I hate it. I hate to sleep with you. I am such a light sleeper. I wake up for anything, and you move, and I move a lot, and then you wake up early, and I had just fell asleep, and I would literally get no sleep. So our relationship, why we're together, I'm happier because we sleep in different beds, or else we would not be together. I'd be so frustrated, Yeah, it would affect my attitude the next day, and sleep is like the most important thing. And
I agree wholeheartedly with you. It started when Jovi was born, and then you obviously brought her into our room because you want to be next to her and all this. I'm like, I'll go sleep on the couch.
People are gonna hate that so much.
Well,
and I hated it so much. I was
get it.
So
I
mad
get
at you, which led to our breakup. One of those things.
Yeah, I'm not saying everything I've done has been perfect,
but that's how it started.
But and then we were just like, we kind of got in the rhythm of it. And it was like, wait a second, we actually really like this.
Yeah.
And so in our house, we have a spare bedroom that I would sleep in. And it was kind of fun. It was kind of fun because like we'd be like, hey, you want to have sex at my house or your house?
Yeah.
Like, you'd come into my room.
Yeah, because people ask like, how do you do it? Well, you just do it. I don't know. And then good night.
But that's so. What's so interesting about a lot of these myths that we're debunking or societal norms Here's why we've taken a different approach in just about everything. I believe it's because we look around and go, everybody's mediocre, mad at the world, mad at life, and just meh.
They probably don't get good sleep.
And we just go, why would I take any advice from any of those people?
Yes.
Like,
I
you
want to
guys
just
are all
decide what's best
miserable
for
and
me.
mediocre. Like, you don't get an opinion anymore. But what we found for ourselves was like, shit, if I sleep in my own room in my own bed and you sleep in your own room in your own bed, we get way better sleep.
Yeah.
We still have all the sex that we want.
Snuggles, all the things.
If we want
it's
the mornings, hey, come in early and slip into bed and let's do that thing. All right. In middle of the day, let's do that thing.
Yep.
And late at night, we've got a place for all of these activities. Just don't fuck with my sleep.
Exactly.
But the societal norm is like, it's so conditioned. And what would be an interesting test for people is like, if it shocks you almost to where you're like, I can't believe they would do that. You only believe that because you've been conditioned by TV.
Exactly.
And TV used to, remember, have the bed split apart in the room? That's still too much because I snore a little bit. And
yeah, exactly.
I love having my own sleep. I love having my own sleeping chambers.
So do I.
I love it so much. I don't know if anybody could talk me to go back the other way.
I don't think so.
Because what would be the point?
For to get horrible sleep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
What was the other one we're going to debunk? Oh, okay.
Well, I want to hang on this one real quick because the reason why we're I want to tell them why we're debunking so much things, because we have a lot of shit that we do in any society, but I obviously know the American society, having been born and raised here, is we are so conditioned by society that anything out of the norm, people go, what? What is that? And yet what I've discovered is that if I stop the normal narrative and listen to the thing out of the norm, it makes my life happier. People think it's crazy that we work out all the time. Well, I just feel better about it. Why wouldn't I? People think it's crazy that me and my buddies all compete with each other. We want to outdo each other. Well, that's how you get better. Well, why wouldn't we want to do that? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of these things that are just outside the society norms that have created so much joy in our life that I go, dude, the normal narrative is bullshit. And if you actually, but what I love is that we're talking about, because we have the fruit. If you're in a relationship, you want it to be like Keith and Jesse's. Why? Well, they like each other most of the time.
Most of the time.
They like having sex with each other all the time. Most of the time.
Most of the time.
But there's this freedom of being who we are and being celebrated for who we are. And we've just discovered that living the normal narrative actually hasn't given people that. So why would I keep living somebody else's story and be miserable?
100%.
Hence the debunking. Now, usually, like, here's the thing, is you were mad at first.
I was so mad at first.
But now you love it.
Yeah. I was like, why do we have to do that? Like, other people don't do it. Those are things that I thought, no, we don't have a good relationship then.
Yeah.
We don't sleep together. And then we would sleep together a couple of times in the bed, and I was like, I really like it when we don't sleep together.
Yeah. We can put Jovi to bed, go to our room, have sex.
Or watch a movie, snuggle, the whole thing.
And then go to bed.
Or go to bed early, or snuggle in the morning. Just whatever
so
we feel like.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. So, yeah, there's a lot of society norms that we're bucking against for one reason. It's giving me better fruit.
Exactly.
It's giving our lives better fruit. It's like, well, if it's making us happy, it's not hurting anybody. Well, actually, it's optimizing us to huge levels of joy. And most people are miserable. Yeah.
And if somebody likes to sleep with someone, they can snuggle all night long, then go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
I would not like it.
Nor I.
I wouldn't get any sleep.
All right. What was the second one?
The second one is going to bed mad.
Oh, yeah.
When you're in an argument and you're so heated, what we do is, before I say things that I will regret, and when I'm so frustrated or mad, I get flustered and I don't even know what to say, or ridiculous things come out of my mouth, and same with you. That before we get to that point, it's like, you know what? I need to go to bed. I need to think about this. I need to get to the root of why we're feeling this way. And we need to separate and go sleep in our own beds.
Yeah.
All peacefully.
Yeah.
But to go to bed mad before I say things that I cannot take back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the society cultural norm about that is do not go to bed angry because of the Bible verse.
Yeah.
And we just found that going to bed angry is actually what gave us the space
Yes.
to think through, hey, what's really going on here?
Exactly.
Maybe
why am
I'm
I
not,
really frustrated?
Yeah, why am I really frustrated?
Yeah.
Without you staring at me and jabbing and saying all those
and
other things.
making it worse.
Making it worse.
You staring at me,
I would
jabbing.
never do that.
That is your thing.
I've never done that.
You've gotten way better.
I haven't done that
way
in at least
better.
3 days.
That's true. Well, is that true? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Think about it. So it's this concept of, because here's why a lot of guys like the don't go to bed angry thing, is because men typically want resolve now.
Yeah.
And it's why, like, if you really watch two guys talk to each other, they talk to each other very differently than a guy and a gal will talk to each other. Mm-hmm. For example, when I talk with my best friend Garrett.
I love how you say my best friend Garrett.
Oh my God.
He's my best friend.
My bestie.
I didn't know 40-year-olds have best friends, but
we do.
there you go.
Yeah, well, that's we just debunked
that. You can have a best friend.
You can have a best friend.
Do you guys
I got
have
a bunch of
sleepovers?
them, man. I love like Martell and Vargas and Taylor. Like
That's what's
these are my
interesting
guys,
about you.
man.
You have a lot of best friends.
I just love them, and they make me happy. But
yeah, that's good.
But we're really honest with each other. So much so that if we sniff anything out in each other, we'll be like, what was that?
Yeah.
And not every guy is used to that. Not every guy is open to that. And women don't like, so I hang out for a weekend with my guys.
Yeah.
And then I come
Here
home.
it is.
And I'm like.
I'm glad you're saying
and
this.
I'm like.
Because this is what we deal with all the time. Tell the world.
You don't even
tell the
know
world.
what I'm going to
do.
say. I know you
exactly.
think you know.
I know
You
exactly.
think you
Go
I
ahead,
know
keep
you,
going.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Share,
What do you think,
share.
Valentine?
Oh.
Oh, my baby. So I'm used to talking to these guys at a level that's just like they have a question, here's the answer. We're about solving problems. Men love solving problems. If you got a problem, I'll solve it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But when I come home to you, I can tend to be in that mode still. And you're like, oh, you're not going to believe what happened here and here and here. And I'm like, well, let's do this. And you're like, no. I said, you're not going to believe it. I'm just telling you.
I'm just talking.
Just hear me out.
Telling you my day.
Telling me my day.
I don't need for you to tell me what to do after.
Yeah.
You need to do this. I don't need to do shit. And I didn't ask you. I'm just telling you what happened today. It's so true.
I love it. I love it. And
what? Are you used to these guys just saying, yes, Mr. Keith?
they don't say yes,
I'm
Mr.
just
Keith.
kidding.
A lot of them will push back, usually out of fear, because I'll be telling them something, hey, you got to see this. And they're like, when you don't see something and a friend of yours is trying to tell you to see it, if you don't see it, it can come across as like they're harping on you and being rude to you.
Yeah.
And that's just not the way guys are. We're no guy that I hang out with tries to make fun of another dude to put him down.
No,
They'll only expose something and be like, bro, you should really consider this. You're not seeing this. Whoa, you're not seeing something.
Yeah.
And so because of the leadership role I'm in with the Married Game and the Ascend Brotherhood, a lot of guys do ask my counsel and they do ask my wisdom, and it's good.
And then when you come home, I'm like, you're not doing this right. Or you know how us girls are, like, we're like, you walk in the door and we're like, whatever, Dada's home. Like, instead of like, here he is.
Yeah.
It's
so
I feel like you get used to that. Well, and then we tend to like little bicker after.
Yeah.
Because of the way our energy is and what you're used to on the weekend, and you come home and I'm like, whoa, dude, you are too much.
I love those weekends so much.
Yeah.
Like genuinely.
So do I.
But because all of the guys are athletic. I came to realize that to be a part of the Ascend Brotherhood, you have to be athletic. I mean, we do bear crawls, we do beach volleyball. Did you see that clip that the Ascend posted? Me spiking it over the net on Michael Hewitt, just smashing him.
I don't know, maybe.
It was pretty beautiful. It was a guy thing. You wouldn't understand.
Okay.
All right, so.
Do you need more praising?
I do.
Apparently.
Yeah, well, let's go. I've told.
You're all right.
All right. So, but the going to bed angry thing is like the reason guys, they want resolve right now. Come on, let's resolve it.
Yeah.
And typically guys like, we're not mad at each other, let's have sex. And it's because it's a connection thing for men. And I don't think women understand how I don't think they understand that.
I wouldn't say all women, but most women. Because some women do actually feel, I know a couple that feel loved by the physical touch, but I'm not one of those people.
Yeah, but most women, I don't think, understand how connected a man feels when his wife is like, I want to please you. I want to make, and it's that's the feminine masculine again. The masculine where the feminine like submits to it, not out of like I'm weaker than you, but it's like I like how this feels.
Yeah.
Which is another myth that we can get into, unless we're not done with the go to bed angry one.
I think we're done with that.
The other one is that, and that I learned from the Ascendant Brotherhood. I actually learned so much from these guys. I mean, they're making a bunch of dough. They're in shape. They're just great guys. And I learned something from one of them, Kyle Carnahan specifically. And he's like, dude, leaders crave leadership. Mm-hmm. And women who are leaders they want a leader as well to follow. They want a woman who is a ball buster, sassy, high standard, loves her life, ain't gonna settle for shit type woman like you.
Thank you.
Like you.
Sound like compliments.
Yep, close. Real close. They actually want that leader that they can submit to because they go, I want to be feminine. I want to step into my feminine because it feels good for a woman to step into her feminine. Yes,
because I've told you this and I'll tell you again. I all my exes, mostly all of them, I'm can't remember some of them obviously, but I would bulldoze them. I'd roll over them. It eventually became where I was like, I hate this, but I was kind of mean to him because I was like, you're like, what are you doing? You're not being a man at all. Like, so I would get like that. And you're the first person I can't fully roll over. I'd have to communicate with. Mm-hmm. And I love that. And I love when you stand in your power. It's not a compliment.
Yeah, I would know.
I would never.
Yeah, but
I love when you stand in your power. I love when you make the right decisions. You're doing all the things that you say you're going to do. You do them. That makes me fall more into my feminine. Yeah. Because I tend to fall into the more masculine when shit's not getting done. Yeah. And my mom's the same way. And Jovi, I can even tell her, like, wants to kind of do that, like, be, like, stand up, which I love so much. I love that in myself. But I want someone I can lean on. Yeah. And I can be more feminine, fun, flirty, fun energy, just, without this, like, we need to do this. I don't want to be like that. Yeah. I want to be like, oh, I got it. Like, I want to be more like, you got it. I can relax. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and guys, okay, so why guys don't do that? Or let me ask you a different question. When a woman can fully lean and trust on that, it's because he has displayed one thing, and that is he doesn't care if he offends you. He's going to share the truth and remain in his power. Mm-hmm. A lot of guys that come into married game, as you know, they're like, I don't know why my wife doesn't respect me anymore. My wife doesn't do this anymore. Like, my wife used to do this, but she doesn't do this anymore. And it's like, well, yeah, because you've lost your power. Mm-hmm. And a lot of guys don't step into their power out of one fear, and that is fear of upsetting her. Mm-hmm. What if I upset her and she leaves? But a strong woman looks at a man and goes, if he's afraid to upset me, which means he won't stand on the truth, how can I really trust him to share the truth with me? Because he's afraid of what I'm going to say. Mm-hmm. And that's where most men, they give that power away to beautiful women and to their wives almost instantly. Yep. It's why women like bad boys, because the bad boy goes, I don't give a fuck if you like me or not. Yep. You're not rare. I am. Mm-hmm. You're not rare. I am. Mm-hmm. And we love that word. I love that. Rare or that word? I love both. Yeah, I do actually. Yeah. But I love the word rare for people because you were saying earlier, like, if the pavement was made out of gold, everyone would be chipping at it, but the pavement is made out of asphalt, and everyone's like, whatever, there's an abundance of asphalt. Yeah. Right. There's an abundance of mediocre men in the world, and our society has somehow made them feel comfortable being that way. Mm-hmm. And so when somebody who is a truth teller shares the truth and then lives it, like literally lives that standard, a lot of people throw rocks at them because
it's against the norm. It's that same debunking of the myth thing.
Yeah. I have a good one. It's like people more in the 90s, I think, would hate on people with money, that if they're rich, right? Oh, you have money, more problems, or you have money, you're stingy, you live a certain way. I would never want to be like that. Mm-hmm. A lot of people back then would say like rich people are like that, but that's not true at all. Rich people now or whatever, they want to give, they want to help people, they create programs to help people, right? There's coaching programs. So I don't even know where that started. That's crazy. It's
the old crabs in the bucket theory that, every time a crab's going out, the crabs want to pull them back in. It's you're stepping out of the norm. It's being rare means that you are a one of one, and you are radically different and more valuable. Mm-hmm. It's usually valuable. Rare and valuable. Rare can be like, that's a rare bird, but we then put value on that bird because it's one of the last of its kind in the world, right? Mm-hmm. An endangered species. Shit, we're almost going to lose that. It's a rare resource. Gold, precious diamonds, jewels, whatever. They're like precious metals. These are rare. And yet, most men are not rare. Mm-hmm. They're not rare. Mm-mm. And when you can tell something's rare is that people love being around it. They want to possess it. If a man truly was rare, his wife would be like, I don't want to fuck this up. I want to be with this guy forever because he's such a rare human being. Mm-hmm. When a man can become that rare and valuable, he gets all the sex he wants. Mm-hmm. His wife loves being around him. That's what these men want to feel. But you have to do the work to become rare. Mm-hmm. And most men don't understand that frame or what it's like to be rare. And that's unfortunate. When you see a guy that's incredibly in shape out in the world, does your mind immediately go, that's pretty rare? Because you don't see it all the time.
Yeah.
Can you think of the last guy that you saw that was
well, we hang around more good-looking, in shape people. So but for the normal person,
if you walk into the mall or you go to the airport, which is just filled with fillers, just people just taking up space, muggles, NPCs, it's true, regular human beings, and that's only just offensive to
living life. They're just like a robot living life, like do.
Yeah. You know what's happening? People are listening to this right now, and we call people normals, NPCs, muggles, whatever. No, here's the beautiful thing. If they despise that as well, their brain immediately goes, that's not me. Yeah, I'm not one of those. I'm with you guys. Mm-hmm. There are people. Mm-hmm. There was also people that heard us say that and go, how arrogant that these people are talking about normal people. No, let me make it abundantly clear. We are not normal. Mm-mm. We are anything but normal. Mm-hmm. For one reason. We've put in abnormal amount of work to not be normal. Exactly. And guess what? Anybody can rise above normal. You don't have to stay normal. So it's not like we're saying you can't come in. We're saying here's the steps on how to become this.
Exactly.
It's crazy. Well, when you know you're rare, and a lot of beautiful women have this frame nailed. They have this frame nailed. They're like, I know, because men, they treat beautiful women way different than they treat anything else, except for celebrities. They'll treat celebrities even differently. Mm-hmm. But they go, wow, I can't believe I'm in your presence.
Yes. Yes.
How many times have you heard, I would kick myself if I didn't come up and tell you hello. And
yes. Or this older man, I remember, this just popped in my brain, he walked by me and he goes, wow. I was like, seriously?
Yeah.
He just said, wow. I was like, whoa.
So instantly, where did his status go, up or down in your mind?
Way down.
Way down.
Way down. Just be a nice, normal person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
that's crazy.
That's what happens in a marriage.
Yes.
These guys start to elevate and put their wife on a pedestal, like whatever she says is right.
Yeah.
You know that I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Whatever
happy wife, happy life. That one.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But what I'm saying, like.
But when I'm happy, you're happy, right?
Well, Depends on what makes you happy.
Yeah, that's true.
But here's the other thing is like, if you say something that I just go, that's stupid. I won't tell you, hey, that's stupid.
You'll say, well, why do you think that? Or
Why do you
how did
believe
you
that?
come up with that?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
And if I don't agree with it, then I'll make an
You'll
argument.
say that. Yeah, and a little argument or like, well, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
And well, why don't you agree with that? And tell me why.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a normal conversation we have.
Yes.
Yes.
But most normal people can't have that conversation because most guys are afraid to upset the apple cart where the pussy comes out. And they're like, whoa.
And sometimes you're like the opposite, which is so funny about you.
What do you mean?
Well, you're not afraid to piss me off. You'll even go the extra mile and be like what we were talking about, like we bicker after the ascend is because you're like, no, it's like this, you know? We'll do that situation.
I say a lot of cancel delete in my brain after the ascend.
That's, yes.
You start telling me something, I just go cancel delete, cancel delete. Man,
here's where you're wrong, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, no, thank you.
But even in my brain, I'm like, that's wrong. Cancel delete.
Yes.
I'm a special one.
You're so special.
Thank you.
You're so
See?
special.
Okay, here's the other thing, though, is people have a hard time having a conversation without getting radically emotionally fired up. And so what they'll typically do is if I don't agree with you, I will try and demean you in a way that society would go, yeah, no, he's right. And it's not good communication, and it actually degrades and erodes this intimacy that we're creating.
Yes.
And it's not the words per se, it's how I say the words. So I can say, like, what do you mean? Or I can be like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're so stupid. Like, why would you think that? And what's happening there is I'm not letting the power of the argument stand on its own. I'm trying to clothe it with all of these like things to make you feel worse about yourself, and then so I can get my way. How much do you love it when I do that?
Yeah, that you were really good at that. That's what I was talking about. You don't do that anymore, thank God. But you used to do it all the time. I think that's why you see it in people so quickly, is because you despise it. And you used to do that, and used to, like, when you even would ask for something, you'd be like, I don't know, I'm just giving an example, but like, we're gonna do this, go to this movie, right? With all this, like, trying to convince someone, I'm like, do you want to ask me what movie I want to see? You know, that's just a simple example, but you would for sure do that all the time.
Those are great telltale signs of a man not standing in his power. So if I'm like, how do I know if I'm standing in my power? Well, that. You're afraid, you're editing or auditing your sign, you're trying to manipulate. A lot of guys are trying to manipulate. You see it in sales, people who are in sales too. They're like, how do I manipulate somebody? I've taken the exact opposite approach, and I just said, I'm going to tell someone the truth.
Because my whole family would be like, he's real salesman-y, you know? And I'm like, I know. And then I left you, and then you've gotten real radically honest now, where I'm like, whoa, let's chill on that too.
Easy on that one, big boy.
Let's find a middle ground with you. How about that?
No. That sounds mediocre. Middle ground sounds normal. No, I get it. I understand. It's the ability to stay in your power, ask questions and stay in your power, because I don't need anything. That when a guy can get to his like listen, hey, I'm not gonna ask you to go on a date and you tell me no every week for the rest of our life.
Right. Exactly.
So, do you want to start dating again? The answer is no. Well, then there's nothing here.
Exactly.
Because I'm gonna date. I want it to be you. But I'm gonna have a dating life in my world.
I love that. So
and
true.
if you keep saying no, well then why though? Like it's this being so rare that you would never dip below your standard.
Yep.
To be like, it's like never has a hot 10 walked into the world and said, you know what? I think I'm just gonna fuck a 6 today.
You know what? I feel like doing that today.
I'm feeling in the charity mood today.
Right.
It just doesn't happen. And yet a lot of guys, they do that over and over and over again. They devalue themselves so much that it's why men have earned that reputation. They're easy. Just give them some pussy and they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Not a high value man.
Feed them and fuck them.
Yeah. Not a high value man.
No.
We better have a good connection, and I want to know what's going on, and I want it's all that. I think we've hit it today.
I love it. I love this conversation. It was fun.
It's that conversation that If you're our fans, this is your episode. If you're here to squat and squabble, then this is your episode.
All right.
This is your episode. So if you love the show, share it. If you want to be in a room with Jesse and I and the wizard and 19 other dudes, you need to come to the live event. It's going to be truly radically life-changing. First of all, there's going to be other people that believe the same type of stuff you believe in, wanting to better your life. A rare human being. You know what rare human beings do? They travel to places to be with other rare human beings.
We're doing that.
I know.
We're going to Cabo.
We've done that.
Yeah. I just got excited for
our
a
whole
trip.
life. Like for the last 12 years that we've been together, we've traveled to see people that share our same values, that go to the same place, that level us up.
Yes.
So that's what you should do. Get out here May 19th, 20th. Come be around other people that are rare and that are looking to be more and more rare by the day. So that way you can keep on crushing it, because that shit is contagious.
I'm making his dog like I'm in a big league. Yeah, I told him I'm